There are many ways to hit a golf ball, and actually quite a few of these methods will result in some decent ball striking. But the problem is you'll have to give up either distance, accuracy, or consistency, or even 2 out of these 3. But if you really want power, accuracy, and do this day after day, shot after shot, and really improve your golf swing, then there's really only one way you should be swinging, and that is by throwing the club head freely square around the circle. Now, in a recent video, we talked about how there really only is one line in the game of golf, and that is the line that you want your ball to travel from the tee over to the fairway, over to the flag. But the swing itself has no lines in it. And here's a couple examples. Some people out there would tell you need to swing inside to out, which of course means this club head is moving. Yes, it's moving from inside to out. Great. The problem is the handle of the club, and mostly the club head, is too much on a straight line. It is not conforming to the curve that we need to get power and accuracy. Another piece of poor coaching is telling someone to throw the club head down the fairway or throw their arms down the fairway. So we want that club head to travel down, approach the ball from the inside, which means it's got to come from here. Really difficult if it's coming from here that you're going to skip the first couple of golf balls and crash down more on this one, and then you're going to miss these last 2 golf balls over here. So swinging this way, again, makes the club handle too much on a straight line, or a vertical circle that does not, it would appear to be a straight line from above. So instead, from the inside, squaring up to the target at the moment you strike the ball, and then the club head swings back around the inside, and the arms are already winning the race to it, since the hands are ahead in the circle of the club head until you get to about here and they catch up to each other. The hands are always going to precede with their actions around the arc to compare to the club head. So the hands are going to be braking around the circle before you get to the ball. They're already braking to the left, which helps kick the club head out and around the circle like that. Now here's a great first-person look at the curve of the club head as it comes down into the ball. Notice it approaches from the inside, heads back to the inside, but right at the moment it strikes the ball, for that 1 split second, the club head is moving in the direction of the target. Now here's a look at the inside circle, the arc that the hands might travel on. Notice it does not peak at the ball, but instead it peaks early over by the right big toe and then starts making its way back around the circle as the club head comes into the ball. So because of this, you'd have a case where the hands should be moving around the arc to the left at the moment the club head is on its last bit of inside out in its arc. Now the 2 biggest mistakes that people make with their swings both involve not having enough curve to the path of the hands. And here's the super over the top steep swing where you're coming outside to in. You can see that there's no horizontal curve, there's just vertical curve here. So from the top down view, it almost looks like a straight line. And the other one would be this, where someone is sure they're coming from the inside, but they're not wrapping that club handle around in time to get the club to come around a square. And you'll be coming at it from the inside just fine. The problem is you're going to be stuck leaving the club face wide open and getting into that super blocky, hooky pattern. All right, so now that we've established the arc, or the circle that we should be swinging both the club head and the hands around, we should talk about how to freely release the club head. Now, unfortunately, so many golfers have taken the poison pill, a couple of different poison pills. If you're over 50, there's a really good chance that you might have learned this method to what they would call release the club head, and that is to hold the right wrist. And remember, you've got to hold the angle as long as you can in the downswing. Again, another poison pill. And of course, what I see all the time is hold, and then flip. So if we were just to examine just the motion going through impact of doing that, you've got super open club face. Sure, I got great forward lean though, right? I'm gonna compress the ball. But the problem is here that the club face is wide open. I'm gonna shank it or block it off the planet. Unless, of course, I turn this palm down like this, something like that, and really pronate this forearm over,